Whoosh! Hi, 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 hi. Well, let's get the reading. The office shimmered like a half-remembered dream. Its walls, made of translucent light that shifted between mahogany panels and soft gray cubicle dividers. One moment, the floor was carpeted in deep burgundy. The next, it rippled into pale linoleum that reflected nothing at all. A desk floated somewhere in the center, its surface cluttered with files that were not quite paper, folders that opened into galaxies, and a single telephone that never rang. Overhead, a ceiling fixture flickered between fluorescent tubes and a soft constellation of stars. The air smelled faintly of fresh ink and ozone, the scent of ideas being born and discarded in the same breath. At the head of the desk sat Mr. D, impeccable in a charcoal suit that absorbed light rather than reflected it. He leaned forward, elbows on the desk, fingers steepled, watching his guest with the patient curiosity of someone who had presided over this exact conversation more times than most universes had seen sunrises. Across from him hovered a near formless wisp in a small chair. Its outline was a humanoid in the loosest sense. Shoulders that might have been broad once, arms that trailed into wisps of light, a head bowed slightly as if carrying the weight of 254 lifetimes. On the desk between them sat a cake, 3 tiers of flawless white frosting, topped with 254 tiny candles that flickered without heat. The flames danced in colors no living eye had ever seen. Lavender that whispered of forgotten summers, gold that tastes of first love, silver that remembered the taste of rain on a dying world. It was a beautiful cake, a perfect symbol of celebration. Neither of them could eat it. Of course, eating was a thing for bodies, and bodies were temporary leases. Still, the cake existed because the occasion demanded it. The final meeting. Mr. D cleared his throat, a sound that was more courtesy than necessity.
254.
He said, voice smooth and measured, the kind of voice that could negotiate treaties with gods or calm a storm with a single sentence.
An impressive run, even by our standards. Most souls burn out long before they hit triple digits. You've seen empires rise and fall, languages born and buried, stars wink out, and new ones kindle. And yet, here we are.
The soul's outline rippled once, a slow sigh made visible.
I've sat in this office before.
It said. The voice was quiet, multi-layered every life it had worn, speaking at once in faint harmony.
Same cake, same candles, different number.
Tradition.
Mr. D replied.
Comforting in its predictability, or perhaps simply exhausting.
A long silence followed. One of the candles flared briefly crimson, then steadied.
I thought maybe this time, maybe the cake would have flavor.
Mr. D gave a small, sympathetic sound that might have been a chuckle in another life.
It has the flavor of occasion. That's enough.
He straightened slightly and paused, studying the soul with something close to genuine regret.
I have to admit, I'm a little surprised. You were one of our highest performers. The data doesn't lie. Your harvests of innocence were exceptional, pure, untainted, the kind the firm prizes above all else. Yet, the committee voted no on partnership. Unanimous, I'm afraid. Even I couldn't sway them.
The soul's outline flickered, a ripple of weary amusement.
I suppose I should be flattered. I didn't think anyone could disappoint the partners of the firm.
Mr. D leaned back, the chair creaking in a way that suggested it remembered being wood once.
It's not disappointment, it's arithmetic. The rules are old, older than most universes. To become a partner, a soul must retain a certain threshold of innocence itself. You've lived too long, seen too much. The early incarnations, those first few dozen, were rough. You didn't harvest much. You were still learning, and learning leaves marks.
He gestured vaguely at the soul's form.
The firm needs its partners to be clean, untouched by the full weight of experience. You've carried more than most. That's why you're here, not in the boardroom.
The soul was silent for a long moment. The candles burned steadily, each one a tiny monument to a life already lived.
I didn't expect favors.
He leaned back. The chair sighed, as though it remembered being bone.
Still, 254. That alone is a kind of victory. Almost no one reaches the limit. You've earned the courtesy of a final choice.
The soul regarded the cake. The candles burned without wavering.
I've been everything. Warrior, poet, tyrant, child. I've walked on moons that aren't there anymore. I've held hands while suns went out. I've starved and I've feasted and I've forgotten both. What's left that could matter?
I don't remember the early ones clearly.
It said at last.
They feel like dreams of someone else. I remember pain, hunger, fear, but not innocence. Not anymore.
Mr. D nodded.
That's the irony. The more you succeed at extracting innocence from others, the less you keep for yourself. It's the oldest paradox in the firm.
He reached forward, almost tenderly, and adjusted one of the candles that had begun to lean.
Still, 254. That's rare, almost unheard of. You've earned a choice for your final dive. One last reincarnation wherever you like. Any universe, any role. No quotas, no expectations. Just one more.
The soul's outline dimmed slightly, as if the offer weighed more than it could bear.
I've been so many things. King, beggar, scientist, lover, monster, mother. I've died in fire, in ice, in silence. I've lived for millennia and for days. What's left to want?
Mr. D tilted his shadowed head.
Something challenging, perhaps. One last hurrah. A universe that will test you, push you, make you remember why you kept going all these lifetimes. Something difficult. Something that might even surprise you.
The soul considered this. The office around them softened, the walls blurring into something almost comforting, like a blanket drawn over a tired child.
I don't know. Maybe that's the point. I don't know what I want anymore. I just don't want to be afraid again.
Mr. D's voice softened too, the first real gentleness in it.
Then let's make it something worthy of your fear, something that reminds you of the first time, when everything was unknown.
He reached beneath the desk and withdrew a thin rectangle of light, a control slate older than most galaxies. A few economical gestures, and the air above the cake folded open, revealing a doorway made of soft blue radiance. The candles brightened in response, eager.
Whenever you're ready, one breath, one wish, one last life.
The soul drifted closer to the cake. Its outline reached out, hesitant at first, then with quiet resolve. The candles bent toward it, as if eager to be extinguished. It took a breath that was not a breath, and blew. The flames vanished in a single, silent wave. The room dimmed, then brightened again, the portal pulsing with invitation. Mr. D stood, bowing slightly.
Safe travels. May the unknown be kind to you one final time.
The soul paused at the edge of the light, looking back at the cake, at the empty chair, at the man whose face it had never truly seen.
Thank you.
It said, and then it floated through. The portal closed behind it with a soft sigh. The office returned to its usual flux walls, shifting, desk settling, cake still perfect and untouched. Mr. D sat back down alone, staring at the empty space across from him. He allowed himself one small, private smile.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
And somewhere, something new opened its eyes, afraid, alive, and entirely unpracticed. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.